Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoying in the beginning of the show here. You guys are loading up the chat room with comments. I can't believe it. As always, I'm always surprised. We'll get started here in just a minute. Scotland in the house. Friend's dad was Scottish, and they called him the Ancient. He lived in basically a mud hut with no electricity. And he wouldn't move to a better place. Kids tried to get him into a better place. Like, Dad, we got plenty of money now. He's like, no, it must be frugal. You're not on there, Pedro. Just getting you started.
Uh-oh.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. And who do I got with me, ladies and gentlemen? My co-host, Pedro Garcia.
What up, my people? How you doing? All snaps. We about to get started. Let's go in.
Snaps, babies. We got a good show for you today. We bring the best content to you every day. Well, we might bring mediocre content to you, but we have fun doing it. and the good news always starts out on these types of shows where it says Bitcoin's at 70,000. Pedro, what's going on with Bitcoin?
That is a great question. Let's check it out here real quick. You know, it's really interesting because we're sitting here. I was expecting to see a little bit of a bigger push, right, in relationship to where we're sitting and what's actually happening. But it's still, you know, this isn't a bad thing where we're sitting right now. Give me, as soon as I pull it up, there it is. Boom, BTC here. Like I said over the weekend, over this on Monday and Tuesday, right? Like this type of movement, I didn't expect to see that 20-period moving average hold us up. If anything, it should have acted as support, and exactly what it did. So we popped up, and then came back down, found some support around that 68,000 area. And then now it looks like it's starting to push here. I want to see a little bit more momentum come in here, though. I mean, yes, we had a big green day or a big red day, kinda, right? But when we look at the smaller time frames, like the hour time frames, like from yesterday, right? Like we have a lot of green coming in, right? Push up and they came back down. Same thing here. Yesterday, similar. We actually, you know,
Timothy Fuentes, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Come back. We'll be on for the next hour and a half or so. Come back on your break.
Yeah, most of. Hey, if you don't mind, man, also put us in that earbud. Throw the earbuds on and put us up in there and listen in on that. That we'd appreciate.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you cannot watch YouTube and have to multitask on your device, don't pay for YouTube Premium. Go ahead and switch over to the Twitch app, and you can put us in the background while you multitask on your phone. They'll be butt dialing people all day doing that. All of a sudden, Indian dancing girls comes on, and Bollywood videos start popping out their speaker, and their earpiece turns off, and they're walking through the office. Oh, ding, 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 ding. That's what'll happen if you do that. Switch over to Twitch, and if you can't watch us, we'd like you to stay on YouTube. But if you need to multitask, go over to Twitch and listen to us, then come back when you want to comment. Not repeating that. Oh, man. Oh, come on. Really? You guys can't hear Pedro and you're just telling me? But you were on, or you guys could hear it. You could start to hear him and then not hear him? For fuck's sake. What? Oh, it's doing that thing again where it defaults to the wrong thing.
We're Saturday.
Yeah, it says he was fine in the beginning and then it switched. That's must have what happened yesterday because I knew I set it up right.
Oh shoot! Yeah, we got to get stuff for crypto night. We need something for Rhodes.
Crypto night. Thank you for
Thank you.
You could
Appreciate
hear him until I
that.
started talking. There must be some key combination I hear that turns him off here that I don't know.
Also, Andy Wilson. We need something for Andy Wilson. He's from Scotland.
Yeah, we're not Scottish. It's crap. I just got to get it into my sound machine.
Also, something for Shireen.
Andy, you have to know that, right? Andy, you know that if the Austin Powers, if it's not Scottish, it's crap. That's not Austin Powers.
Crap.
It's Mike Myers from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not Scottish. It's crap.
Space Guy, welcome to the house. Hope your night shift was good. Chuck Jansen, welcome to the house.
You using the whole fist doc?
There we go.
Yeah,
there we
he's
go.
fist doc.
We're getting some people up in here. Good to see y'all.
All right, let's keep talking about Bitcoin. What's going on with that?
Biddy.
Let's start it over because I don't know where you cut off there.
All right, good point. All right, so let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin here is looking really kind of dope here. Like I talked about on Monday and Tuesday, we were down in these lower levels there, and I expected us to push through that 20-period moving average, finding support, and then typically probably pushing back up. We talked about this over about 2 weekends ago when I got sick, but I talked about how we sold off here and then came back up. And so we're doing exactly what we want to do. Whenever we have a pullback, we always are looking to buy, especially in the bull run, right? And so we're finding some good support here. Now, even though we had a red day yesterday, when you look at the hour charts here, what's really nice is, like you can see here yesterday, or the other day, we went through, we were consolidating, we were buying up and just consolidating this level here. Right, as you guys can see, we went down, boom, consolidated yesterday, and then pushed back up. And then if you look, even on the sell-offs, you can see that we actually had a bigger amount of buyers stepping in as we were selling off, which is always a good sign. Hence, that's basically institutions getting rid of getting rid of buyers so that the buyers will come in down the road, right? That's the key, is what you're looking for. So that sellers step in, and then the buyers, i.e. institutions, step in, take and absorb all those sellers, and then we see a push up in the market. One thing I do like about it is that as we were consolidating here overnight, you can see that as we were touching that 8-period moving average on that hour there, we were definitely buying. So we should see continuation from this moment on. And I'm expecting, honestly, to see a 75,000 over the weekend. We should see something like that. If not, then what I would expect us is to come back down again, right? Find support on that. And this is going to be the 8, or is it 12? Yeah, on that 12-hour chart there, as we're finding support here, push up. I think we're going to push up. I think we're going to push through this all-time high, and find support around that 75,000, and then come back down again and play off of that 12-hour 8-period moving average. So that's what I'm expecting. Alrighty, if not, expected to come back down, find support again on the next moving average, which would probably be that 62,000. But I don't think we're going to, because if we would have, we would have seen this candle fall through this 8, right, and then come back down and test. So that's why I'm really bullish on this weekend, if not into next week. So we'll find out what happens, but. Actually, today, if we're pushing up and by the end of the day we close red, then I would go bearish over the weekend. But I think we're going to push up. I really do.
Well, it depends how that volume comes in over the weekend. In about a quarter of the world, remember, it's a very holy weekend this week. And that,
ooh, you're right.
That takes out a lot of Latin America, a lot of United States and parts of Canada, and a big swath of Europe as well, from focusing on their phones. They got to focus on the family. On Sunday, they got to cook, all that type of stuff.
Easter.
My mom's bugging me. Are you going to go to church, Tommy? And I'm like, yes, Mom, I'll go.
Good old Catholic boy. I show up.
Yes, Mom, I went, but it was a virtual church where you just have it on the little corner of your screen there. Yeah, oh yeah.
If you had to go to church, what church you going to?
I go to a Catholic church down the street here in Chicago, and I've been on a Christmas and Easter run for I don't know, a good 2 decades. Weddings, funerals, Christmas, and Easter. That's about it. You see the same people. Hey, Jim. Hey, Bob. Hey, Shirley. And then you see him. You saw him at the wedding. You see him on Christmas and Easter, and soon you'll see him at the funerals. I was trying to bring something up here, but my charts are freaking out on me. Or not charts, but web pages here. The Grayscale and BlackRock thing here. BlackRock is about to overtake Grayscale in total value under management for their ETFs. And Larry Fink was on CNBC. I don't know if it was yesterday late or early today. And he said we never expected it to be like this at all. He said we thought there'd be much more hesitation to get into Bitcoin for our clients. There was going to be much more. It would be much more problematic getting the brokers to sell it, and their company to do it. But he said we were able to prepare pretty well, but we weren't prepared for the volume. If you recall, good afternoon, Thomas. Welcome. If you recall, in past shows, I've talked about how I was skeptical of a big ETF pump because they've been preparing for it. Well, they've also been preparing for it a while, and companies know that, if I'm going to buy all this stuff, I'll buy it while it's cheap now. Yeah. And so I was under the impression that Bitcoin had the ETF kind of price built in. Not the FOMO price, that there would be a pump or something like that, but it would...
like overall price?
Yeah, the overall price had it built in that BlackRock was going to buy $1 billion or $2 worth of Bitcoin, and the other guys were going to buy little bits. And a number of other people I talked to kind of said the same thing. They're like, yeah, why wouldn't they go ahead and buy it, ahead of time? And everyone speculated that some of those repeating pattern buys was BlackRock's just programmatically buying every couple of hours. And so I kind of assumed that. But two things happened. One, the ETFs went crazy. They far surpassed anyone's. And then Fink was on the air just going, we never thought it could be so successful. And they also never thought that the Grayscale would keep their fees high and everyone would dump their Grayscale shares and move it into BlackRock's. Yeah. So that tells me they didn't have enough Bitcoin on hand to handle the inflow. And that they did have to do a lot of buying, thus, helping bring it up from $30,000 to $60,000. And then, as they were bringing in for a while they were bringing in $1 billion a day. Half of it was coming out of Grayscale every day and just moving over to Bitcoin or BlackRock. But a lot of it was buying. And they were talking. Another guy was talking about that there's just not a lot of Bitcoin available for sale right now. The exchanges, the miners are doing their best to hoard what they can because they're going to have to sell it after the halving for hopefully a lot more money to help fund their operations as they make the change to half revenue, and the exchanges don't have a lot. You look at all the tweets of them saying, this whale's moved that with that and this kind of stuff, and a lot of that, there's Binance, they have tons of it, but all the other guys are all trading for scraps right now, and so. I'm still thinking that, there's people talk about supply shock, and I see all you guys going, and all your little meme tokens and all that, and like, oh my God, there's not much left in PancakeSwap. There's going to be supply shock. How many of those tokens have you ever seen just absolutely, went to 1 million. There's only one left, and right. the AMM just took it up to 1 million. It's never happened. It's never happened except on test nets where they force it. And the reason is because there's always sellers. There may be a supply shortage, but if the price goes up, there's always sellers. And whatever token you're in, whatever coin you're in, there's always going to be someone that sells. And remember, these things are almost infinitely indivisible. I have to repeat this over again. Bitcoin is 20. They're like, it's only 21 million. They're almost all gone. No, there's 2.1 quadrillion. And if you don't know why, then you're not paying attention. I'll tell you why. Because each Bitcoin has 100 million Satoshis in it. Yeah. So even if Larry Fink buys 20.5 million Bitcoin, eventually there's still 500 million trading units. That's a lot. It's a lot. And if they're all worth If they're all worth $1, that's pretty good. But if they're all worth $100 million, it's even better. Anyway, just wanted to remind people of that. But also that when you're looking at this chart here, Pedro and I kind of focus on this short little section here. But when you zoom out and do the big zoom out, if you think we're at the historical top forever at this, you're crazy. Yeah. I mean, you're just crazy. And there's still people on LinkedIn, Pedro. There's still people on LinkedIn. They're like, it's a Ponzi. It's just going to go to zero, And I'm like, and I try to argue with them, but it's like trying to argue with people picking their presidential candidate. It's just not going to. There's no effect at all.
Yeah, it's literally.
And I say, look, there's all these billion-dollar companies behind it now. There's an infrastructure, there's economy, there's jobs, there's mortgages, there's kids' daycare and school. There's all on this.
I mean, there are countries.
It's going to go to zero. All someone has to do is just sell, and it goes to zero. I'm like, no. I mean, I know it's not as liquid as Amazon stock. Well, actually, it is as liquid.
Okay, first
as
of all,
Amazon
okay,
stock,
well, wait. Okay, that's just dumb because the reality is this: let's say there is a huge sell. Let's say that Grayscale just says, you know what, F it, we're done, and all of a sudden drops that market. I'm a firm believer that it might drop down to. Like I'm still in it for the 5,000, 6,000. I do think one day we're just going to see craziness happen. I know, but let's say it does. Dude, you telling me if I can get Bitcoin at $5,000, dude, I'm putting everything in.
Pedro, you and I agree a lot of things, but I don't agree with that on you. Like I've said before, I think those ETFs present a floor.
Yeah, I don't disagree. What I'm trying to say, the point that I'm bringing is this. If it was to fall, let's say that everybody goes, let's say we see another 2008 situation. Everybody's just like afraid to buy. Dude, as a small guy, if it goes back down to 30,000, 15,000, 10,000, dude, I'm buying everything. I'm leveraging. I'm figuring out a way to go and sell my parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents' house so that I can buy it. Like, I'm going to be like Dogecoin, a millionaire or 100,000.
Jesus is a buyer at zero.
You know what I'm saying? Like, 10,000 was a great call. But like, no, but the idea behind it is real simple. I mean, there are too many of us in the world. And that's the thing is, I know BlackRock is a buyer. I mean, Larry Fink was very clear saying, look, like this, like we are going to digitize the world. Like we are looking for ways to digitize everything. And Bitcoin will most likely be the backbone, that gold that you need to be able to sustain that economy and keep it stable, just like we use gold today.
Right. Jesus, I think you said put in a call. I think you mean put in a put. Remember, you buy a call when you're bullish, you buy a put.
Yeah.
When you're bearish. Or you can sell a call when you're bearish or sell a put when you're bullish, but then it would be a naked, and you could go to infinite zero.
Yeah. But I mean, and you forget, guys, Tom was a options trader, so
traded the knife options, New York Futures Exchange options, and the U.S. dollar index options on the New York Commodities Exchange, a long time ago. One of the worst days of my life, Pedro, was when the U.S. dollar went to 24-hour trading, U.S. dollar index.
Yeah.
And because it used to trade the hours that the stock market traded, because the contract at the time was owned by the New York Futures Exchange, and so it was like a 9:30 to 4:30 type thing. And I used to cover both desks for this company, work at both places. Then they started going 24 hours, and we had to man these desks 24 hours.
Oh dear Jesus!
And, now there's no desks. It's just all all
automated,
electronic. And so I lived in New Jersey and commuted into New York for this, and so they'd be like, and there was very little volume at night, but so a clerk had to be there, which was me, and the senior trader had to be there.
Were you paid hourly, or were you paid?
No, I had a salary, but they had to start, giving adjustments, and we didn't work a 16-hour day. We had to take a shift, and so they'd be like, "You got to work the night shift," and I was the young guy, so I had to work the night shift. Space Cat, There we go. I forgot I had to work a night shift for a while. And it sucked. You know, when all the commuters were coming in the morning, I was on the empty train going back out. And what's, I don't know, one of Tom's tangents. Hey, that's a good segment line, Tom's tangents.
That's actually
one of the, so someone typed that in the chat, so Tom's tangents, like hashtag Tom's tangents. Or striking soliloquies or something. But all the trains, you know, they're all cached in crypto terms, or IT terms, cached in the morning to come into the city, and there's only a few trains going out, and so sometimes there'd be an hour between trains, and so you get off work and you're tired from all night, and then you have to wait like 45 minutes in a train station to go south, and all the commuters are coming in their crisp suits, and the girls in their crisp outfit, Hillary Clinton outfits. It was the 80s, you know, blah 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 blah, and I'm looking like a disheveled homeless person after working at futures exchange all night, sitting on the bench waiting for the next train to the Jersey Shore.
That's funny, dude. Honestly, man, it's so painful when you have to. I mean, it's literally painful. Like I've done overnights at times, man, and like because your body's so used to sleeping at night that it's like and you try to go to bed during the daytime, you don't even get good sleep, man. It just hurts. Literally just hurts. You know, I say that with
in 1991, kind of dating myself. Some of you guys probably weren't born by then, but there was a recession in the U.S. and I got laid off, and I was like, oh, thank God. I thank God. I worked a long time there, but those trading floors back then, I either had a booth to stand at with like 5 telephones, buy, sell, or I had a little square think of the tile floors, a 12-inch square. I had one of those to stand on in the trading pit, right with the trader right behind me, and I had to keep track of his book. And he was miserable. I mean, a bunch of guys together, mostly guys then, yelling and screaming all day. They stink. I mean, they stink. And they have no problem passing gas, right? And the stairs go up, and you're on the bottom, so all the guys are up higher, and you're behind them. So there's a whole bunch of guys doing bad things on you as they stand there all day. It's just made good money, but I just hated that part of it. I was so glad when I left that job, or when I guess the job left me.
That's so interesting. It's another thing we were talking about BlackRock and the tokenization, and Ondo financed to move $95 million to BlackRock's tokenization fund for instant settlement for its T-bill tokens. That was really interesting because they're talking about T-bill tokens. And I know I had talked with Tom yesterday. We had talked about the CBDCs, and Tom has really hit hard on these, but now they've got a full-on date. Like they're saying like, what is it? I think it was it a year to a year and a half
for
where
Swift?
They're like, for Swift to go completely digitize and to really kick out the CBDCs. And I'm just, I sat there and I was just like, this is no longer just like, okay, can we make this happen? We are doing this. We've got a date and time within a year to a year and a half. And it's fiat cash, like paper cash. It's going to be, it's going to be way of the dodo bird. I mean, it's coming.
Well, you knucklehead Europeans on the show here, excluding you, Wilson.
Wilson!
Wilson, yes, exactly. Well, we could use a line from that movie for him too. That would be a good one too. But with that, the EU government, I can't keep it straight. The Commission or the Parliament or the bureaucrats or civil servants, whatever, they voted to do away with people using cash for businesses. Except for under $3,000 for certain things, under $1,000 for other things, and then soon they're just going to start ratcheting it down, and then your privacy is done. That's it. At least now, I mean, we know very few people use cash. But if you want to go to a gun store in the U.S. and buy a gun for cash, or buy some more ammo, or go to that store down the street with the red light on it and that type of stuff. You can buy things for cash and nobody knows. But sorry, EU, not going to happen much longer.
Well, here's the thing. The part that scares
Why do you guys elect these people? Why do you Europeans elect these crazy bureaucrats that just they can't wait to pass more rules and restrict your life? I don't get it. I just don't get it. You're like Democrats in the U.S. I just don't get it. I let that one slip out.
He's just joking. Hey, he's joking.
He says all I buy with cash is my weed. You must not live in a proper state, because all the other states now you can. Well, not all of them.
Yeah, there are a lot.
I guess some of the states you can use a credit card or you can only use a debit card. But in Canada, you just hold your phone up, beep. Go to a kiosk in the store, beep. Hold the phone. Use your Google Pay. Use everything. I'm in the mecca of weed, San Francisco. You know what? I have another job. I was in a job a long time where most of my life in which I was randomly drug tested. All the way back and working on the commodities exchange floor, random drug tests. Lie detectors to get your pass to go on the floor, random drug tests. And then I worked in the defense and security industry for a long time, random drug tests all the time. I also have a Class A CDL driver's license, and you're always at risk of a drug test for that too. So I've not been able to partake in this wonderful expansion of the vices of the world. I've had to stick with the usual bourbon and beer and that type of stuff. But there's a downside, and I agree, it's all good. I mean, the edible world is making people's lives so much better. The downside is you people that still smoke, like smoke. Because when they legalized it in Ottawa, Canada, the whole town went to smelling. I mean, Canadians were known for weed. I mean, there's vast tracts of Canada that nobody patrols, and they grow it everywhere. But nobody smoked it outside. Now people smoke it walking down the sidewalk, and the whole place stinks like weed some days, and it's awful. It's terrible. It's like, no, this wasn't the point of it. The point of it wasn't to make the whole city smell like weed. The point was to be able to have your little freedom to do what you wanted. And so my new thing is I'm going to start carrying a spray bottle of beer around, and just everyone that's smoking, just spray them with beer. And they're like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, hey, you're making me smell like weed, so I'm going to make you smell like my beer. It drives people crazy when I tell them that. I tell them these stories. Well, it's not the same. I'm like, I walk out like my neighbor over. I have a non-smoking building, both places where I live. Once again, Tom's Tangent. Both places where I live. And people still smoke weed in their house. In one of the buildings, you just kind of share the bathroom vent exhaust things, but the weed goes in and comes out over here. And I tell the landlord, I'm like, they're breaking it says in the lease, you got to sign the special thing. It even says no medicinal marijuana, no nothing. Don't live here if you smoke. And they still do. And it drives crazy because it stinks, especially if they got that Hawaiian shit that's just like, whoa, what's that stanky weed? Oh. All right, Tom's Tangent is over again.
Okay. Well, the reason what got us on that is just simply talking about Ondo's finance to move $95 million to BlackRock's tokenization fund for instant settlement for its T-bill token. And I'm reading this directly from CoinDesk.
Ondo?
And, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I got a big chunk of Ondo.
Yeah. So check this out. So I'm gonna read through the here real quick because we're talking about. Yeah, give me 1 second. Here we go. For
those of you who don't know about Ondo Finance, they're a DAO that doing a bang up job. I would say.
100.
And like, you know, I'm checking the stream here. I've got a little viewing window here. Is everything smooth here, or are we like jerky? Like
Let us know that. I'm just going to read through it here real quick because I just find this real interesting. All right. Come on. So Ondo Finance to move $95 million to BlackRock's tokenization fund for instant settlement for its T-bill tokens. The allocation The allocation marks to first example of crypto protocol leveraging BlackRock's tokenized fund for its own offering. Ondo Finance's uh, sh- shifting back assets of its OUSG token to BlackRock's BUIDL tokenized fund from a less desirable short-term treasury bond ETF. The OSSG will become significantly more unstable with instant a all around the for instant around the clock. Dude, it's hard to read on like it
I know,
out of your mouth because you read it in your head and you're like so clock subscription and redemptions. Ondo Finance CEO said tokenized real world assets RWA platform, Undo Finance is moving 95 million of assets to BlackRock's brand new tokenized fund to allow instant settlement for its own U.S. Treasury-backed tokens. Nathan Allman, CEO of Ondo Finance, said Wednesday in the Telegram interview with CoinDesk, until now, Ondo OUSG token was backed by BlackRock's iShares short treasury bond exchange traded fund, which traded only during traditional market hours, opposite of crypto around the clock nature. The allocation allows Ondo to significantly speed up.
Jesus types. I feel like I'm at school and the teacher assigned Pedro to read part of the book.
Bro, I am not. I'm a better reader in my head than I'm reading out loud. The reason why I'm bringing this up is this is a
Crypto Mike in the house.
so oh God. The
Oh
reason
god, that's funny. Anyway, I got on the Pedro's reading that about Ondo Finance. They're a DAO that invests money in all sorts of like real world asset type stuff, and they teamed up with BlackRock. Apparently, the market knew this was coming here because it must have leaked out. I was wondering why they super pumped. This is the Ondo chart, and this is one of the ones that Chuck, if you're still listening, I did not cause it to crash by investing in it, but I got in right down here, like there.
nice.
Yep, and I wish I had held because I would have like 3 times the bag, but I've been selling all the way up, which is the right thing to do. But they're gonna hit $1. They're probably gonna go. I bet eventually they go to $100. If they, I'm not making a call or anything. Don't listen to me on that stuff. But if their first deal is a $100 million thing or $95 million deal, was that $95 million? Is that what you said?
Yep.
$95 million with BlackRock, that means this is their little test case. You know, that's like, oh, we'll just try this, you know, little. $95 million to BlackRock is like their jet fuel bill for the month, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's the test case. So you'll see an announcement probably, I bet, in 6 months that says, you know, we're doing $1 billion deal or something like that. I need to try to get those Ondo as sponsors.
Dude, that would be dope.
Yeah, I connected with their partnership sponsor, and I'm saying this intentionally so the YouTube algorithm gets it. But the lady that runs Ondo's sponsorships and partnerships, I've connected with on LinkedIn, and I'm trying to get her attention. So,
if anybody got any hookups, know somebody who knows somebody.
Read your messages, miss. Thank you.
Yeah, but I mean, we always look like we're, you know, at first, until they connect with us and really see, we look like people out in the Middle East. Well, no, we're on LinkedIn, so that's different. That actually is different. They can go through and check us out. I don't know. That sooner or later.
P2P movement is in here. I'm guessing you're pimping the. I think that's the first time you typed something without putting reward token in there.
Yeah.
Their chart's still pumping, still going.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it. I don't know. I was going to blah blah blah, and I forgot. And I was like, shit. Looked at the chart. I was like, damn it. Anyway, we were talking about Ondo Finance. This is a big thing. Big thing for Ondo and stuff like that. But Pedro, why don't we finish this segment up and let me give a quick sponsor talk, and then I'll hit the topic of the day, and we'll come quickly back to news and meme coins and that type of stuff.
Definitely. finish this off. Anyways, long story short, they're settling things up with BlackRock, and instead of having to buy an ETF, right, this is going to be instant transaction going back and forth, which is basically the tokenization of T-bills, hence causing things. I mean, sooner or later, if this goes well and things start really pumping, we'll start to see, and it's a simple transaction. We're going to definitely start seeing things move from there to, a 1 month or like 5 month, or excuse me, 6 month, year, 2 year, five. I mean, and it's really, once we see a digitization of the 2 year bond, this is where things change. Like, this is when, because that's what the Fed uses really to indicate what is going on in the economy. And if that can be instantly done instead of having to be maybe sold for an open outcry, or it's not even open out. I mean, sometimes it's open outcry when they all meet, and they're all trying to get for, X amount of price. But this is going to change things quite a bit. And it's quickly happening. I mean, this bull run round come around is really interesting. I thought we would see the banks get in, like you said earlier in the show, right, and kind of chill out and see, but to actually see them really step in full force and really realizing the power of blockchain, the power of cryptocurrencies, and digitizing things and tokenizing them is. I thought that was going to be in the next bull run. I did, but it's kind of all happening right now. And we're literally part of it.
Yep, I agree with that. Jesus, I don't mean you're alive. Just draw that. I think you're about 30 to 40 seconds behind. Just drag the slider over to live, or double click the live button or something. I know you're alive. You can type unless you're a bot. Unless we're going to talk about.
I'm alive, Johnny Five alive. That was such a good movie, bro. Such a good movie. Johnny Five alive. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I had to check a text. Oh, he paused. So, it's good. What did I want to do here? Yeah, I'm gonna say something, Pedro. I haven't broached you with this yet.
Broach me, my friend. What's up?
Bear with me to talk a little bit about sponsors real quick. Jesus says Johnny Five.
Dude, imagine if somebody took us on it and launched a Johnny Five alive token. I look forward to the day when we get so big, bro, that when we say something and people start creating tokens from it.
Yeah. I want to talk about. I've started talking about. You've heard me talk about our sponsor, Audit Chain, and how they've been basically in development to writing the software that can police the financial and assurance industry for about 4 years now, and they're just getting ready to launch with and they use artificial intelligence. They use a logic and reasoning engine. They use learning models, all this type of stuff, and that's what they used to say in the past. Now everything's AI. So they've rebranded their validating node section of it as an AI play, and they're going to be selling these things, you've heard me mention it before, but I have to kind of pivot a little in how I talk about it. For one, because I'm an American, and bad things happen to Americans that talk about selling things that have to do with finances. So I'm not going to talk about that on the air anymore. But I am going to say I'm going to put together for Pedro and I a private investors group, in which if you join us, we can talk about these things. And exchange.
Wait, you just broke up when you said something about and then nothing. You said something about pay. What?
What I'm telling the audience is we're going to establish a private investors group, like a closed group amongst friends and stuff, where we can exchange information about stuff privately, so things we talk about aren't available to the public. And if you'd like to join that, just DM me. Or post in the DYOR Media room. Hey, let me in on the private group. It's not going to be for bullshit talk. It's going to be for, hey, these deals are coming around and this type of stuff. But some of the things Pedro and I can't really talk about on the air because it constitutes talking about financial things in the public. And if you notice, every YouTuber out there has their own private group, which they talk about things. Because as we grow, people start contacting me. Hey, can you talk about this and that and this type of stuff? And you can't.
Yeah,
we can't talk about. I mean, the tokens and stuff like that are just meme coin tokens. That's one thing. But we can't talk about initial coin offerings or initial node offerings that are that could be classified as securities by the SEC one day and by commodities by the CFTC the next day. Just that we want to stay out of that mess. But we also want we want to start creating reasons other reasons for people to stay attached to the Tom and Pedro train here. And so I want to be able to start talking about these things in private and just not on the public air. So anyway, for those of you that, and I'll mention this every day for like the next week because we only have a few people on right now and sometimes we'll have a lot more. So we'll be starting that to talk about these things. But anyway, thanks to AuditChain for being our sponsor for the year. When they get AuditChain actually running and stuff, they'll be a better sponsor because then they'll have income and we can get going with them. But AuditChain's the place to be. They're going to be like the next Fetch and Render and all this type of stuff, but for the finance industry instead of for the graphics and GPU industry and all that type of stuff. All right, Mike, I see you. You're the first one. Well, you'd be the third. Pedro and I are good enough. And of course, it's that time of year. We're getting only a little bit more time. If you have any last-minute questions about filing your taxes or crypto issues, my sponsor down here, Patrick Camuso, Camuso CPA, is dedicated to crypto tax accounting, and he, I guess I should give him a little props by having his website instead of my other sponsors. Camuso CPA. Patrick, most of his cases are people that have tried to do their accounting themselves for crypto or gone to other accounting firms, and the other accounting firms screwed it up, and they're like, we need to call Patrick. And he figures it out for them. Only a little bit of time left here in the U.S. for a tax season, and if you owe taxes, you need to file by the 15th. Pedro? Did you know this? That if you do not owe taxes, or owed a refund, you can file whenever. There's no deadline.
Yep.
I only learned that like a year ago or so because I was right up against the deadline, and I'm like, oh, I was traveling. I'm like, I'm not gonna get this done. Blah blah blah. And they're like, do you get a refund? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be getting a refund. I paid too much. And they're like, well, we can file whenever. There's no penalty. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like, no, just file anytime. I filed like in May. No problem. Got the refund. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's when you owe money is when they don't play around.
Right.
The tax man want to be like, pay up, dude. Like,
yep.
Hey.
Anyway, we're a little light on viewers today, as it goes with Bitcoin. Some days are good, some days not. But what the topic I put up at the beginning of the show here, AI, the amazing invention. Next week, Pedro and I are going to talk more about AI and the different protocols and the companies that people are paying attention to, and kind of how this stuff. But I wanted to have more of a talk today about. Oh, I left that up too long. About AI, the amazing invention. Simply because we've all watched the protocols change here recently. Not the protocols, the investment narrative. And AI for the past 6 months has been, taken over at in Davos at the World Economic Forum. Not the actual World Economic Forum, you crazies, but all the cool events that happen outside the cordon and around it. All those events used to be crypto events. Now this year they were all AI events. It's changing everything. And a personal experience, it's changing the way I do the show now. I used to sweat over making thumbnails. Now I just go to Copilot and I said, give me an AI guy in the style of Hal from Space Odyssey 2001, and boom, there he is. And I put him between Pedro and I. It took me 10 minutes. It's much simpler. My Photoshop skills are not that great, but instead of having to try it, I could never create that guy I put on there. I'd go to Google and cut something out and steal someone else's art and do it. No,
you would not do that because that'd be copy infringement.
I don't know what you're talking about, Pedro. I was borrowing someone else's free content,
Exactly.
royalty-free content.
There we go.
And now with the AI, it takes takes no time at all. In a great example, and I'll shill the mainnetz and pepez guys. There's a couple of people in their community that are I'll just call them wizards with the AI prompts. And the cool stuff that they like, here a good example. The little guy down in the corner next to Amazing, the Pepe frog there.
Oh, we can't see
it. You might not be able to, but
I just see it. Okay, yep. I see it.
It totally AI generated just by saying Pepe the frog, and it's in full lit. It's awesome. It's great. And secondly, I got another personal experience with this. Is just me, just one guy. In the I've talked about this in the DYOR Media TG room. We've put that pal.ai bot in there, and it's wonderful. It hoovers up all the information about our shows. You can train it to talk about stuff. It's funny, some of the answers. I'd say of the if I've asked the thing 100 questions, 90% of them were right. 90 of them were right. 10 of like this morning, I asked it, please summarize yesterday's show, and it talked about a show in June. I'm like, come on, man, should be yesterday. You should be able to figure that out. But it's not quite great. But just things like that, and it's given me content to use elsewhere on the internet about the show. And it saves so much time, just in my little world, just Tom's little world of trying to make a thumbnail. So Pedro and I can have just a general topic to talk about, and the thumbnail matches it. And then in just trying to, you don't know how many times I've looked back in the history of our videos and said, oh, I can't even believe I spoke about this before. I'm like, I wish I had known that, because I just said something contradictory to it. I should have researched it. Now I can go back and quickly research all the text on my shows. And you can too. You can go back and say, where did Tom goof that one up? And it's an amazing cost savings of time. And I'm not just like saying this is a cool thing that you need to use in our TG room or thumbnails. I'm saying this is how it affects just me, just one person on this 7 billion person planet. And when you scale that out, think about this, and you scale that out, you're at this point with AI. I'm crushing your head. Crushing your head.
Crushing your head.
Somebody's home. Come on, all you Canadians better know that one. Rose says, we do have an amazing AI meme makers in the mainnetz and Pepsi community. It is amazing. It's that guy Sosa and Johnny or...
Dude,
guys, I can't remember your names. I talked to you all day. I can't remember your names.
But here's the thing. Right. But in that same sense, I mean, it's like I said, these guys are not digital artists, right? No. They are prompters in which they prompt AI to do it, and AI creates it. I mean, dude, actually, you know what? It's really interesting is to sit there and gauge what a few of these other crypto companies are doing in relationship to the AI. So, one of the projects that what was it called? I'm actually have it right here. Bittensor. Bittensor. Yeah, they're pretty awesome simply because they're creating an open AI learning algorithm that it's open source, that you can go in and interact, and once you build something, it stays within the protocol because it's open source. And then if I want to see there and I want to create something, the AI has already learned, so it uses that to build the next thing that I'm trying to build. And let's say I can't build it, right? I can sit there, prompt to say, hey, do this, do that, try this, try that, and it starts to build it, and it uses that. And then somebody who codes sits there and looks like, you know what, we can switch this up. And it's this interaction how within crypto, and this is important to understand, in crypto, everybody, even though we're very tribalistic, it's like, what's the word I want to use? It's like, if you're Doji, then you deal, it's only Dogecoin, but then at the same time, it's like, yo, if Shiba's running and Doge ain't, I'm gonna take some money out and put it in Shiba, because it's right. It's like, it's equal opportunity. And so it's one of those things that within crypto, man, as we keep building AI protocols and AI tools, like it incentivizes us, right? Whereas like if I set something up and create it and put it into just an OpenAI system, right? Where everybody's using it, I don't get paid for it. I don't get incentivized for it, right? If it's
Right.
used. And whereas in crypto, like I create something, I put it into these protocols and these systems they'll pay me, and when it gets used, right, it pays me in, TAO, which is this one. This coin is TAO. But there are other protocols like this that are just, like for example, let's talk about Audit Chain. Audit Chain sits there and goes through, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have an open AI system that where you can sit there and go, okay, well, I want to be able to go through and find out, let's say MicroStrategy, and find out how many shorts are actually on it, right? How many shorts in comparison to longs, and is there a lot of pressure pushing on MicroStrategy as a company, right? And all
Yeah.
of it.
I'm sure what you're alluding to is will be happening.
Yes. And there'll be people out there that will have an open AI system within crypto that's going to sit there and create even more. And then they'll make money from it. And it incentivizes people to actually do good work. Right. So, but in an open system, whereas and it's all prompt related. It's not like I have to sit there and really, really know how to code. We're going to get to the point where that AI system is literally done by prompting. And I just think I am blown away.
I know with the Audit Chain one, when we first started testing it, it was very complicated. You had to enter like basically 9 different things on different pages and blah 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 and this kind of stuff. And now now literally you just prompted that the interface is just like one box.
ChatGPT.
Please, exactly, very similar to ChatGPT. Please compare Tesla to Rivian statements, 2021 to 2023, yada, 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 blah, 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 and use this style. And it's amazing. It's going to take over the world. But anyway, and how AI affects crypto is even our buddy Zach Humphreys' his XT algo thing here. It's I guess I'm not exactly sure how it works.
By the way, side note, if you guys haven't subscribed to Zach, go over. Zach has great content. Subscribe, like his stuff. He's legit. Shout out to his system. This is the show, his system to the XT algo.
Right. And behind the scenes, it uses AI, a learning model, and that type of stuff, and to take what you say and put it into the trading algorithm, and it pings your phone like, oh, it's time to buy this one. And he shows when he talks about it all the time in his show, and it's like, here's another one. I mean, maybe he doesn't talk about the times that it fails, but his subscribership is going up, and so it must be telling people good things. But that's an example of AI affecting not one little use of it, but it's now affecting the couple of hundred people he's got subscribed to it, instead of where I installed the AI and it just affects me. My little workflow, he installed it and it affects all these people. And so that's an example of it scaling into crypto. And that's just Zach. I mean, you know that Larry Fink and Jamie Dimon and all those guys have an AI task force in there. They hired a whole bunch of kids straight out of math class at Harvard and MIT.
Coding class. I mean,
no, math class. Because before there's coding, there's math. They got to figure out. Then the coders take that and take the math.
Right. Absolutely.
And they're figuring it out, and then they'll apply it, to everything in the markets. And we'll see. We saw a big change. A couple of big changes is when they invented the teletype, the ticker machine. All of a sudden, you didn't have to be there. The markets. You could be in an office down the street. You could be upstairs. You could be in San Francisco with Jesus. Or you could be in Zimbabwe with, they had to lay some undersea cables with Royal Q. And that was a big change in the markets. And nothing really changed in the markets until they just got better at transmitting stuff. And then the internet came around, and then the markets just went electronic. And then you're going to see the next big change in that, I think, is going to be AI, where there's so many different AIs that are programmed differently running the markets. That people, You'll still need. It's not going to eliminate people except like administrative jobs, but they'll just move up into better jobs. It's going to change the markets fundamentally on how things work and how things are traded and relationships between things. I mean, one of the people trade Ford stock, but some people trade the difference between Ford and GM stock. And it's because it's easy to calculate. You can look at GM stock, look at Ford, there's a spread. Well, let's play the spread in that, or the spread between, January delivery of gold futures and February delivery of gold futures. People play
that happens all the time, especially
those are easy to figure out. But the AI, you can say, tell me the spread between the housing market in the south of France and the beer market in St. Louis, and it'll figure that out. Maybe not now, but eventually it will.
Are you familiar with the Goldman rule?
No.
So basically, Goldman Sachs goes through, and whenever because they're a huge part of the market. I mean, literally, they can stop markets and just hold them at bay until they decide they'll just absorb all the orders. And so Goldman Sachs, every time they switch from one commodity to another commodity, or whether it's indice, right, on the futures, it's called the rollover, because they go from one track to contract to the next contract. And in that same sense, it's real simple. They hold the market, and a lot of times it's inefficient at times, because the market just kind of goes sideways, and you just for like a week or two, where it's just they're taking one, like right now, Goldman rolls really happening in what's happening in the S&P 500, and if you look at, let's say, gold right now just transferred from one contract to another contract, and so you're seeing it transfer this state, and it's in the past you would see them and you would have these wild, crazy fluctuations. Now you just can kind of consolidate for about 3-4 days, maybe 2 weeks, based off if there's a high amount of volume sitting within gold. But it's interesting to sit there and see it's currently right now, and that's without AI. That's without really. That's just simple, all right, buy, sell, buy, sell, sell, buy, sell, buy. And so it's just the price placement things will be really important to sit there and see that. Anyways, that was just a side note. I know that had nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Pedro can have tangents too. I mean, that's what people are here for, the entertainment. What the hell did I do to my system here? Hold on 1 second while I get this back.
Oh, that sucks. Jason keeps getting kicked off, man, by his internet. What up, Mike? It's good to see you always. Ooh, we get the rant tomorrow. Yeah, hey, are we doing Friday?
Let's do it.
All right. You heard it. It's happening. You just heard. Wow, that was really loud. I scared myself. It's happening. I was like, oh snap.
We'll do a free rant Friday tomorrow.
It's happening. What is it? We'll call it the happening is happening, or the happening is free rant Friday, or not free rant. Why do we always call it free rant Friday? It's supposed to be freaking A, dude. What is it? Is Chuck here? Where is Chuck? Jenny. Well, hello, Jenny. Good to see Jenny, dude. Jenny. It says Jen, but we just got
did
Jen's
the Forrest Gump.
Jenny. She's like, I hear that all the time. I'm no longer coming back. Full rant. Why is that I always call it free rant? Dude, I swear.
I don't know. You get me saying it too.
I know. Full rant Friday. I gotta put this down. I'm actually gonna write this down right now on my desk here. Full rant Friday. There we go.
Jen says, "You know who I am, Pedro."
Oh yes, I do.
Bam, chicka, bam, bam. Sorry, Jen, to impugn your reputation.
Nah, she's awesome. She's awesome. But it is good, Jenny. But jumping back,
you do that one well. You do a lot of imitations very badly. That one's
horribly, dude. You know what I'm missing, and I was sad not to see him come in. Lawton, where's Lawton? From Madrid. Where's our Scottish Madridian friend? Yes, it's probably not, but I mean that's gonna be your thing though. That's just how it is, Jenny. But is there another Jenny that we could pull from that by
That's
chance?
not my favorite movie.
And she's like, "Will you stop that?" She's been tortured her whole entire life by just that simple statement, Jenny. Oh, by the way, side note, please hit that like, subscribe button, and share it. That always helps us out quite a bit. We'd always appreciate it.
Emily's
right.
Universe says these AI crypto projects can make you a millionaire. Near still 5 to 10x. FET still 5 to 10x. Tau 10 to 20. PAL 20 to 30. I don't know what BDVW is, but
Who's Emily's Universe? Well, thank you over on X for commenting. We appreciate that. Maybe is she selling something?
no.
Oh,
No, I follow her.
Oh,
she
nice.
follows me back.
Oh, appreciate it then. Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, that happened yesterday. Or not even yesterday. Happened. They had been talking about that.
With
Yeah,
Singularity.
yeah,
That,
yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, that's HEIX's Singularity.
Yeah, AI.
And who is the other one? That's another one we cover all the time. FET.
There's a few of them. Like we've gone over.
There's 3 of them. Yeah.
Yeah. But the biggest key is this: is like I'm wondering because they mentioned what name they would call, and we started seeing all the fake coins because that merge hasn't happened yet, right? So when they create that coin, I mean, dude, that coin is going to be insane. Like that's the other thing. So here's the thing: each one of these protocols have a unique AI system to themselves. So them coming together is almost like Thor merging with Superman, merging with like Batman. Like it's like you just got the ultimate hero, and then but then you also have like the main thought of that is Batman's like he's more of he's an anti-hero, right? He's for the people, but he's not gonna get stuck in a system, right? Whereas like we know that like Thor does his own thing, but Superman's like that ultra righteous guy, but he's just like, yo, dude, you would rather crush humanity and make sure that it takes care of itself versus actually trying to let humanity work it out, right? It's like the idea of the weakest.
Welcome, Pitmonk, to the show.
Woo! Yes. Anyways, we just got Ghost over here. What's up, Ghost? Everyone knows the next narrative is AI gaming. Yeah, I agree. That's the other thing, bro.
Yeah, then we could talk about that forever.
Yes, dude. You know what I'm looking for?
Just wait. This is going to be the coolest thing. Just wait till you can use prompts to create an AI gaming universe.
Bro.
You can say, create me a multiplayer or a single player game in which you have to fight zombies with laser beams. And, and it sets it up, and then you know what it'll happen. It'll switch to porn really fast. I mean, people will be like, but because that's what leads every market. We all know that. Pitmonk says gaming and AI will be awesome, but when you can create your own one via prompts, it's gonna. I mean, there's not going to be enough GPUs in the world to settle it. It's going to be amazing.
Speaking of that, so this is where we then talk about, and we just have Brian. What's up, Brian? China has started the delivering of deep fake news anchors. What are your thoughts on this? Tell me a few things. Thread. What up, Brian? It's good to see you, brother. It's always good. We miss Brian. Holy moly! What up, brother? I'm going to talk about that in a second, because I think that's important, because that's going to come into the idea of China and their huge development of AI, as well as deep fakes and what they're doing with new systems. But also, and again, I want to bring this up because this is important. As the world starts to understand the ability that you can make money by simply contributing to a ecosystem within crypto, I think that's what's really going to allow us to be able to see crypto really jump and also take on a new scale of things. For example, the prompting of a video game, right? And then people jumping in and then creating. And on the back end, how do we process that? Well, best way to process that is literally through quantum computing, right?
Right.
And to see the evolution of quantum. Right now, all we're using quantum computing, right, is to, and I understand it's, what a qubit is and what it does and how it sits in superposition. But like this is currently right now in the state of where we're sitting in, right? And we're given so much information from quantum computing that we've got to sit there and sift through a lot of it and see what's actually correct and what we need to do. And really the use of quantum computing, right, is really based off of dropping it down to Kelvin, right, or absolute zero, so we can actually work efficiently instead of overheating and stuff. But in the next 10 years, with the money coming into AI and the development of AI, that's going to propel quantum computing as we work and prompt with AI. And when I say AI, I know that's such a general term because there's a difference between AI, AGI, and ASI. AI is a simple, or we'll say AI is like basically what your phone works. It's algorithms that work that are smart algorithms that follow you and learn you, but it's not conscious in a sense, right? Then you have your AGI. AGI is artificial general intelligence. That's like a 6-month-old baby, maybe a 2-year-old baby, I want to say baby, but toddler that you interact with. But it's not like super smart. I mean, you're still learning, you're helping it grow. But ASI is artificial super intelligence, right? This is when we come to the point where it is now at a point where it's smarter than us. And are we going to be its, cute little dog that it keeps around? Or, right, because it likes us and because we kind of help, or kind of like an adult child that's working with their elderly parents, right? It's like, who's going to rule who, right? Even though one created the other, certainly one just outrules the other one. And so there's this idea, and I'm bring this all to a point here, is that when we start to see this idea of the democratization of AI protocols, and then also the ability to make money from it. And for whatever reason, I know that the terminology is slipping my mind, and I can't pronounce. I don't know why it's not there. What is that? Legitimate, genuine individuals in the crypto.
Yeah, it's just crypto. It's
got it. Got you.
The crypto lens guy pimping his stuff.
Thank you. Pimp it all the way, brother. Pimp all the way. But the ability to be able to sit back, prompt, and create devices and that actually create new technologies by simple prompting using AI, and also holding hand in hand and developing new technology like we see with quantum computing. It's going to be really, really, I think at that point, I think we're 10 years out, 10, 20 years out before we were really at that point. But it's speedily coming there. And I think as we have the ability to make money on using these devices, that's what's going to change things. I really do.
Yep.
Like once the world really understands that, like right now they just think it's all just fun and games and just, it's all fake. But they don't understand, like, first of all, they're missing out on the greatest gold rush ever. But on the back end, once they really understand, it's going to be like the gold rush, and then all of a sudden you've got millions of people, hundreds of millions of people really interacting, really trying to figure out a way to make money off of creating through a prompt situation. And then that just feeds the AI. That was a lot. AI and gaming are going to, yeah, dude, have you seen that? There's a show, it's called 3 Bodies. Have you? And it's basically about like physicists, they're being killed. And because it's just a lot too, I'm not going to give it away. But there's this point where they all play this video game, and it's so lifelike. Like literally, it feels like a truly, yep, it's weird. Yeah, I agree, Mike. It's weird. But there's this point in it where they're all playing this video game, and they're all in the Matrix, basically. It's like the Matrix, and they're all trying to save the world and all this stuff. But I do think like sooner or later we're going to end up in that, and very similar to AI that we saw in the Matrix. I think it will have a different feel, a different view. And I don't think it's going to be a dystopian society that, you know, ultimately you're going to have your renegades. You're going to have your people like us that are going to sit there and be like, nah, dude, I'm good. Like Gala or Hero. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Gaming token's going to be huge. Yeah. And I think there are also, we haven't seen a lot right now. We still see big players, but just like on the onset of the internet, you know, Yahoo was a huge proponent for, you know, web search, right? And they got, you know, and now it's Google, and you have, you know, and that's 20 years. So who we see today, I don't think is what we're going to see in the future. Oh snaps, bro. We got Operation Phoenix here, man. They're in the house. Good to see you guys. Operation Phoenix in the house.
Jesus, Jesus, whatever your name is. My Gala is pumping right now, he says. Gala keeps rocking it.
Yeah, they are. They've been, well, and we all know. I mean, dude, when you look at their all-time high, they're ridiculous, like absolutely ridiculous. Let's check out Gala. What is their all-time high? I think it's like, yeah, it's like 84, and they're still sitting at 6 cents. I mean, we very much could see some big movements here with them. My biggest thing is when I sit there and I see them really pump here, right, for Gala here. I do expect to see some sell-off. And the reason why I say sell-off, because there's a lot of money there. And as other altcoins start to really pump, right, I think we'll see some of Gala sell-off. And so I'm kind of waiting for maybe that 4 cent mark, 350 around this 50 period moving average on that daily chart. But I mean, it could pump from here as well. But as you can see, like, volume is dying off here, right? And so that's why I'm a little bearish on them, just simply because there's been so much money put into Gala, right? And they're not necessarily producing some great games. I mean, we still see the private sector within outside of crypto really, you know, just killing it. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I buy it on the central exchange to save fees. Yeah, I agree. Well, I don't agree with that, but it's fun. I was just talking with Tom. I have a lot of my stuff on central exchanges, and I was like, dude, I need to switch that to a private wallet, because ultimately, I think the government's going to come in. Anyways, I'm sitting there talking about. Tell me, what are your thoughts on what I'm saying, Tom?
Like I started this this conversation about, or I didn't start it, but someone else did. You know, once people, like you said, Gala is pumping like crazy, going up, but not really delivering stuff yet. Ultimately, everything goes back to sales. You know, eventually, their sales and how much the market values their growth and their plans to grow. Like Tesla, their valuation is way more than they can sell. The market values that way more just because it's a big play. You know, they can't possibly sell $1 trillion worth of cars in the foreseeable future. But and things like this, they're eventually going to have to deliver. But all it takes is someone just to come up. You know, Sam Altman's going to say, "Oh, well, I hit this other button, and now our AI can be used to design video games realistically," and all of a sudden,
changes everything.
Yeah, it changes everything. And I mean, if you can combine, I got to tell you, if you can combine virtual reality and creating your own video game from prompts, I mean, literally everyone would live in the holodeck. I mean, you know, from Star Trek: The Next Generation, that holodeck thing was the coolest thing ever, and that's possible. I mean, I just did a virtual reality thing with my son, and it wasn't like you had to stay in a little square, and you were in a big room and you could walk around, and like we were both fully digitized, and to the point I've mentioned this a couple of weeks ago or whatever, in which we could basically high five each other. It was so good, but it was a constructed Space Odyssey type thing. But if you could type what you wanted and create your own neighborhood, your own universe, your own whatever. I mean, people's minds will just expand that knowledge like, and it will be unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I agree. I do agree, man. Like, I think it's one of those things that if it all it takes is one deliverable, like, because I mean, this is the wild, wild west. There are no real rules about this stuff. I mean, you look at Elon Musk all pissed off with ChatGPT, OpenAI. Like, dude, you guys originally I invested into because you were supposed to be, non-governmental. You weren't supposed to make money, and that's why I decided to do this. And now, it's like you should not be doing this. Once we kind of get past that moment, in this, like, who's going to profit off of AI, I think that's when you sit there and you really explode. Like you said, the deliverable of the ability to be able to do something, that is going to be the biggest thing. And then when they figure out a way to put bodysuits where you can feel things from a kinetic standpoint.
That's what I did in this virtual reality thing. You put the vest on and you can feel it, like when the monster
But not in
came
your
up.
hands.
No, not in my hands. It was a vest, a body. You wore it, and so when, like, you got shot, you felt it. And when something was crumbling, your shoulder vibrated out like you're getting hit. Or when the monster came up behind me and knifed me, you felt a thing go across you like that. It
was tactile. It was tactile.
It was very tactile, to the point where, like, you're freaked out a little bit. But then I hate to refer it again, but tactile uses, will be led by another industry that I won't have to mention again.
Yeah, unfortunately, honestly, if that does, I almost want that to happen, simply because with all the sex trafficking that happens among the world and just the horrible side of things that correlate with that industry, I would love to finally just be able to sit there and let people be able to be their own devices and stop hurting people. Like,
actually, what's going to happen? It may cure that or help cure that, but the birth rate will go to like near zero, and humans will be done. Because
snaps, you are right.
We see one, it's like, I'm gonna go to a bar and try and pick up somebody and have some little fun tonight. Yeah, nope, just gonna go to my holodeck. Thanks, guys.
Have a good day. Everybody goes to the holodeck, bro. Dude, like, it's funny. You sit there and you're like, oh, I want to find that girl who was at the bar. You find him, you're like, hey, what's up? And she's like, hey, what's up? Instead of actually connecting in the bar, you connect on the holodeck, dude.
Well, that was like that Bruce Willis movie about 20 years ago or so, where everybody was like an old piece of shit fart living in their living rooms, but they got in their machine, kind of like the Avatar-like machine, and then they did life through these robots that were everyone's buff-looking and great and strong, and everything was great, but in reality, everyone was just fat, lazy, and out of shape, living in these machines alone. Yeah, it's a Bruce Willis. I can't remember it. But it was a great movie, and it's like, about 20 years ago. Might even be more than 20 years ago. It was awesome, but it was that same thing where Pitmonk says Judge Dredd sex headsets. Oh, the content today, once again, ladies and gentlemen.
But I mean, here's the thing about AI, and this is where I'm thinking, what is the next, right? Because there comes a point when, like, we see.
Oops. Sorry.
It's all good. I was wondering. I was like, what's going on here? Bullish month. I would agree. Whoever said that April is a bullish month, during it's very much. We typically see it push up, but on the back end, as AI really starts to get going, my thing is I want to see what happens with quantum computing, right? And are they going to be able to connect the two? And then the other part is, for us as humans, seeing what's happening with Elon Musk and with neural mesh, right? With the neural mesh,
That'll be crazy. Imagine if you could just think it, and your universe around you changes.
Yes, you just nailed it. So there's this point where, and here's the thing: how far will this go? Like, because I think ultimately, like, will humans kill them? Kill themselves off literally through our own system. Now we're getting weird, but I don't even want to go there. The whole point is as we really start to connect, right? Is this whole entire system a system based off of consumerism? Or are we just trying to create, right? Like, where does that switch? And I'm always for capitalism, people making money and doing what they need to do to get ahead. But then there also comes this point in time where it's like, how's it beneficial? And I think there's that's the fight that Elon Musk has, right? Whereas, like, we need safeguards here. We don't know necessarily, because ultimately people do need to get up. They need to go to work. They need to be hit by the sun, right? Like, you need to have a real experience. And so seeing AI kick in with neural mesh and quantum computing and its ability to hack, it's going to be kind of scary. But I love living in this day, though. It's really cool to be a part of it.
Pitmonk says, I listened to someone last night in a space who claims he has a scannable chip in his head. When scanned with a phone, it shows his personal profile NFT. You know what? I have seen things like that, the chips that get implanted that just work on near field NFC technology. And I wouldn't be surprised that someone put that in. It's the same thing that goes in dogs, but it has a little bit more memory for it. And in some secure facilities, people have them implanted in their body. Ever watched Altered Carbon? That reality would be sweet. No, I've not watched Altered Carbon.
Oh, dude, I have seen that. Or that's the one, I think, where they log in and they're like, they go to the future. Is that the one?
Oh yeah, no. I know this one. Yeah. I have not seen it though, but I know it is. American Cyberpunk television series. I'm all about cyberpunk shit right now, simply because of the aesthetic graphics of it and the post-apocalyptic type stuff. Like when I'm working, I play Blade Runner style music in the background, wow, in the rain and all that. And my whole apartment, if you guys haven't seen the pictures of it, is LED lights, and I set it up like that. I love it. I love it. It's one of those phases we go through. When you get older, you gotta have a phase, and mine's cyberpunk.
Oh yes, I do remember. Yeah. Dude, and they switched their consciousness from it was the white dude, and they switched it to the black dude, and then they switched it, and he was an Asian guy. Yes, I do. That's something Carbon. What was it? Altered Carbon. I do remember that. I remember seeing that show. Yes, it was a trip. Yeah. That was a trip. That movie, or not was a movie, it was a TV show, dude. Is it still going? I thought they canceled.
I think I have watched an episode of that. I think I have.
Dude, it is a must, dude. Like, it's one of those ones that, like, the browser your session was disconnected. Yeah, it's one of those things, man, that I think that is a good picture of potential future that we could see. Especially with AI.
There was another movie in which it was a comedy movie that it was the same thing. You could download and download your brain. They could back up your brain and download you into a new body. And this one guy figured it out only because he found his own body murdered in a ditch, and he's like, "Why is my own body murdered in a ditch?" And anyway, he finds the place where he's doing it. And the place's best customer was Tom Brady.
Really?
Yeah, and it was a comedy, obviously. And Tom Brady keeps walking out the door. When he walks in, he's like, "Hey, you can't win 6 Super Bowls without stuff going wrong with your body. So get a new one."
Yeah.
It was really. Dude, I can't remember the movie, but I'm sure if you Googled Tom Brady and a brain change movie, it would come up. Pedro, we're getting long in the tooth here.
Yeah. Well, let's go over some of these ones because we've got a few of them that we've been looking at, and AI protocols. But one of the things that we've done is we started looking at Crypto Banters, their organization, the Crypto Banter. Rand and his crew has put together a really good. These guys have a really good knack for catching things that potentially could really move and just kind of on an early stance. And so we kind of looked at his stuff, and I went through and I was like, man, these are actually pretty good plays, and they're not like 20 billion market cap. They're still fairly low. And so I was sitting there going, you know what, this isn't bad. So if somebody ever watches this, apologize about that, Mr. Rand. But dude, you got a good system here, and so I'm not, I hate to.
No, he tells
poach.
people to use his content. He tells people to. Just give him credit.
Yeah, this is definitely him. So Tao, the one that we had talked about earlier, right? We're already starting to see the sell, and this baby right here during the bear market, right, of last year coming in, this thing was selling at $50. $40, right? Like literally its low, I believe here is $29 back in May of last year. And now look, which is about a year, right? Or a little more than a year. And now it's sitting around 545. And I know it sounds like a lot of money, but when you look at the...
Wait, what did you just say? It went from what to what?
Yeah, $29 to 756 at its peak. Now it's in around 500.
Holy shit! I thought this was still an early call here. This is thing.
It still is. Because when you look,
F bombs.
Dude, so when you look at Tao, let's look at Tao.
TOA. No,
yeah,
TAO.
Where is it at?
Not that.
Definitely not. TOA.
No, TOA.
TOA.
No,
it's TW or TO.
TAO. Tao.
TAO. Oh, there we go.
Oh.
There we are. Look, it's still like if you look at the market cap, right, from its level, it's still sitting about 3 billion market cap, and this is, I think the ranking is 26, 27.
Oh, I thought what was I thought this was BitTensor you're talking about before. What was that last chart you had up?
No, that's BitTensor. It's 554.
You've got the daily chart up here. Oh, I mean only one day, not daily. You've got this is the minute chart.
Yeah. But the reason I'm saying this is simply because I think when you look at the actual number of it, on the scale, I think this could easily be another top 10. Top 12. And as this sector keeps growing, especially the autonomy behind it, this is why Elon Musk is so like amped with this merger, because he's just like, dude, we're finally going to take it out of the major conglomerate hands and actually put it back into the people's hands, right? Like that's where I think that's what he wants to see, right? Because ultimately, like he's richer than, just what he makes off of his, I think it's $2 billion, $3 billion he makes just simply off of what he gets from his dividends. Like it ain't about money with him. He like honestly thinks about like humanity. And so he likes what's actually happening with a lot of the merge that we're seeing. Is the Garcia in him? Laugh out loud.
What? When we were goofing up Tao.
Oh, it's the Garcia in him. I got it. Yeah. All right. Whatever.
Where's BitTensor traded?
Oh, we can see it right here. eToro.
Everywhere.
Oh, no, not eToro. Why did I even say that? Gate.io, KuCoin. If you're in America, I wouldn't do KuCoin. And by the way, I want to talk about KuCoin too, because it was selling off, and
no tangents. Tell them where is it bought in DeFi?
Yeah. So in DeFi, I'm
guessing Uniswap.
Yeah, I'm looking for Uni right now.
Jesus, you could never offend Pedro and I. Remember, I'm on my third wife. Pedro has a long story too. It's nothing you can say.
Yeah. I'm not a snowflake, baby. You good? That's why I started laughing. I was like, "It's the Garcia." That's funny. I probably should have stuck at it. I'm focused. I'm trying to figure out, dude. I can't find it on any really DeFi systems here. That's interesting.
It's probably. I'm guessing on Avo you can buy it. Let me check that.
Check Avo. I don't even know half these guys. Bitmart, but Bitmart still it's a sec. Is CoinCatch? Is that? Look. Moderate. It's not liquid though. Hotcoin.
Yeah, you can trade it on Defo and Avo.
You can? Okay, you got it, guys, right there. So, and let's check out the next one here with them. We're gonna check out Based AI. Now, Based AI, I haven't done much research on it, but what it really is, and I'll read this off. I'm actually gonna read this off of his system here so that I don't butcher it. But Based AI is basically a meme coin that plays into the AI narrative, and it's kind of posted on a lot of areas, and we all know meme coins can get nuts. So as always, you always want to at least look at AI and what it is trying to do. Based AI, where you at,
dude? Jesus, if you don't like sex, don't tell your partner that. But central exchanges, don't forget about Avo, AEVO.xyz. It's a decentralized exchange. There's no KYC. There's no restrictions in the U.S. or anything like that. And it's fully decentralized. You keep stuff in there's no accounts. You keep stuff in your own wallet. AEVO.xyz. Cool thing. You can trade futures on. You can trade things that aren't even launched yet. They like speculate on things coming out and they start trading them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna have to play with this then. That sounds fun. There's the degen in me. So here's the thing, like these guys are kind of peaking. I think they peaked because of what he's done. I would wait. I mean, and if it does sell off from the 10, I mean, the next real junction point here is that 5. I mean, a sell off to 5 or even potential $3. We could see a sell off here too. So, I mean, and these guys have been around for...
Hey, Jesus, do I know your Telegram?
September.
Name? I forget.
Boom. So this is another one that he's
SFC.
Looking at the play here.
Sorry,
Oh, you good? I'm just going over everything here real quick. And these are some ones we're really going to start following, kind of checking out, see what's happening, simply because they're the primary ones. And then as we really, and my goal actually is to really become, I mean, I've been playing with the narrative here and looking at stuff, but I haven't really just delved, and I should have done this a long time ago. But I really want to start to, where are you at? Olas. I really want to start going through and checking out. I guess we can have, here's the DEX pair on these decentralized exchanges. You have, why am I forgetting what it's called? I know who these guys are, and I can't think of the name.
Sorry, I was sending
Uniswap. Holy crap! No, you could. Uniswap.
Oh yeah, that hard to remember one.
Yeah, it was like, why is my brain doing that? And there you go. There's that senior moment. This one is definitely consolidating right here. We're gonna be checking out Olas as it moves here. But I you know, it's one of those things that, and all of these have their own unique system. Olas, its primary system here is that it's just a network of off-chain services such as like automation oracles, and they're basically co-owned AI, one of the main players in the AA agents side of the narrative. So there you go. And then, and here's the other part. One of the things you can always do, and this is one thing I do like, within, you can always come down here and read through the majority of the time. You can read through it. Some of these are just shields. But you can go through and read just the explanation of them. Majority of the time with many of these ones here at CoinMarketCap, you can go through. We could actually even pull this up here. Let's see here. Olas with, where are you at? Olas. One moment. Olas. No, that's not what I was trying to do. There we go. Oh.
Hey, Pitmonk, that's a good point. While Pedro's researching that, I'll mention that you guys hear us talk about mainnetz a lot here, and that there's no bridge to mainnetz yet. They're level 1 token, and in order to get tokens on their chain and to their Zodiac swap, you have to go through an exchange. They're on 8 exchanges or something like that. That actually works very well if you have easy access to an exchange. Doesn't work if you try to avoid exchanges or you're in the U.S. It makes it very difficult. But they yesterday they launched basically it's a swapper. Swappers have been around for a long time, and what they did is they put an address out there, so you can send anything from right now. I think it's an EVM address. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pitmonk. Any crypto that's an EVM crypto to no, I'm not right. Let's just say you can send one like ETH or BNB right now. They do want to have all of them, but whatever. ETH or BNB to the address, and on the mainnet side, they have a pool of tokens that gives you the equivalent amount on the mainnet. It's only a one-way swap right now. There'll be a two-way bridge coming up soon, but in order to start funding these meme coins that are starting to pop off like crazy on mainnetz, they got to have a way to on-ramp faster. And so you can avoid it. You can do it right in DeFi, and you can do it. If you want to check it out, go to the mainnetz TG. And if you can't search that because you're got no fingers or you have no brain, you can go to the mainnetz.io, their website, and click to their Telegram room, something like that. Zodiac swap is at 12. Yeah, I get your reference there. Sorry about that, Pedro.
No, man, you're good, dude.
What's Olas? Sorry,
No, Olas is just basically services are here we go. This is where it is. It's offered as a composable stack for building the services and protocols for incentivizing their creation. Autonomous uniquely enables the operations of these services in a co-owned and decentralized manner. Basically, they create systems that allow people to be able to create AIs, which is what it looks like. The Olas token provides access to the network core functions. Users can stake Olas to operate off-chain services and lock Olas in via Olas to gain governance rights. So this is one of the ones we're gonna, and like a lot of these, I'm gonna really start to research. Me and Tom talked about how we kind of need to really start to, just educate you guys. I know you guys, a lot of you guys are working and all day long and checking things out, and I really want to start to understand these systems so that you guys, when things start to move, and also when new players, right? Because all of these have, mess ups, things that they can't get over and they're having a hard time with. And so for me, as I'm looking at it, I want to sit there and see, oh wait, here's a new protocol that's creating the shortcomings of this situation, or the biggest things that AI is being hindered by. So that's really what we're trying to do.
If you could check your DM, I sent you a contract that I can't remember if one of our viewers is having a tough time with commenting because Google won't let them create a new account or something.
Yeah, they're a piece of. I want it right now. Boom, quote.
I have no idea what it is. It might be literally have no idea what it is.
So am I gonna? It's just gonna be like porn.com.
No, I mean I sent you a contract address. So
Waiting. Here we go. Nothing is here. Okay, let's see if we can find this.
I think I had two of those situations.
So this is Dex Tools then?
All I sent you was an address. If it doesn't come up, look at it on Gecko Terminal. It doesn't come up on Dex.
All right. That's weird. All right, let's check out the.
I had a second one of those too.
So it's Salama? Is what it is?
I have no idea what it is. All the guy said was, "Could you check this out for me? Could you have Pedro look at this for me?" I can't comment.
There we go. Boom. All right, so selling off. Let me put in.
Pitmonk says, "If you can't find it, just send me your seed phrase and I'll fix it for you."
That's so awesome.
You're the best viewers.
The best. I don't care what those other people say. I like you guys. Sign up, log in, email. Can I just log in to get connected to? Nope. All right, so I'm gonna have to go through here and just do all that. Indicators. Nope, and you don't even let me do indicators. Okay. All right, let's see if we can find them on here. Boom, AR. They're not even here. So this is the one that we're gonna sit there and see. All right. Well, since I can't even pull up for Bird's Eye, I got to create a whole entire.
Just did you try it on Gecko Terminal? It comes up as Solana, not Solana, but Solama.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Gecko Terminal. I just had them.
Gecko Terminal's been giving me fits today. I don't know. Oh, Jesus says that was me. I have another one somewhere, and someone said I can't get a Google account. The llama of Saul. Well, the daily chart's not looking so good.
Salama. Boom.
I don't think you're going to need any indicators when you call this chart up, Pedro. Just call it up.
Yeah, it is. It's not giving me anything.
No, it'll take a second, but it'll load. It's just Gecko Terminal's being overwhelmed by traffic, and they're just struggling.
No?
Getting closer.
Oh, right here. I see. There we are. Okay.
Is that the daily?
Now we'll pull up the daily in a second.
Yeah, wait to see the daily chart. Jesus says he thinks this may come back, so he thought he'd mention it to us.
No data.
Yeah, that's been a problem with the past 2 days. Gecko Terminal's been doing it. It has access to everything, but they're just swamped, so their systems just go. There you go.
All right, so we're just gonna do. Let me see here real quick. Can this give me a 4-hour chart? Nice. Give me 8-hour chart. Nice. Give me the 12-hour chart. Now give me the daily chart. Come on. No whammies. No whammies.
I've got the daily chart up. Yeah, there you go. That's it.
There we are. Okay, let's put up moving averages. There we are. Perfect. Okay. All right, we are playing off of that 50 period moving average here. You can sit there and see that even we had the sell off, we had a bit more seller pressure than buyer pressure. The only thing that I can sit there and say is right here is really where I'd be looking to buy, because we've already pushed through this demand zone. We've been playing off of this 8 period moving average here. You can see how that 8 is really starting to come back down here. So it's starting to really trend even on the weekly. That weekly chart, I'm not going to sit there and do it, but you can already see here, you've almost had, what is that, from today's days, the 28th and 28th, 14th. Yes, you've almost had 2 weeks of just straight selling off. So if I was going to be looking at this chart, see where I want to get in at. Come on. Calm down. That's not gonna happen. All right. Where I'm looking at is really right here. Myself, if I was to get in on this trade.
It just needs to tap it. Just
tap it. This would be the area in which I would want to get in on. If I could look, it's the same monthly area. Okay, so this is at least a weekly area. The 5th of March. Come on. Just need a date. Give me a date. Come on. And my computer wants to run slow here. There we go. The 5th. The 5th was Tuesday. So that would have been, no, that's not even a weekly. That's not even a monthly. So this is just a daily zone here then. This area here is where I'm looking at.
Pit Monk says 007's a good number for him.
All right, so it's that 007 or 1 cent area, which would be the previous highs here, right? So that's the other one area that I would be looking to get in on, previous highs. But because there's a lot of people here.
You gotta move that over. It's behind my head again.
1 second. Boom. So you can sit there and see right here that this is where we bounced off of already. So the previous high, we came in, bounced, boom, came in, but we need to see some volume, some big green volume at this point, because that 8 period moving average, you can see we're following it. So if this follows red, if this closes red, it's coming back down to that 007 area, 007, 005 area is where I would then be looking. This has got to close green. Okay, that's the key, is it's got to close green, and you've got to see some volume picking up for that to continue up. Is that good, bud? Let me know.
Okay, I'll watch for that.
Yeah. But that's in a nutshell. But we've got, like you said, we're going to be looking definitely at these movements here in the market, just simply because we really want to make sure that, I honestly would just want to become an AI expert in crypto. That's really what my goal is here. Is over the next couple months, just start fully understanding that. YPU better buy some Pedro, laugh out loud. Or NFA. What's YPU? Or my what token?
It's just YOU. You better buy.
You better buy some, Pedro. I got it.
Matt, we were looking at Solana. The llama of Solana meme coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually I put it up so you can read it, but forgot to mention it so you can hear it too.
Definitely. Boom. Dex is, what's the Dex rating? So Radium. Alrighty. It is getting about that time for us. So
it is, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks to all 10 of you who stuck to the end here. Appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot.
Okay, well, what is this capybara? Just because my son loved them, already doubled. Let's check out capybara.
I degened into into a BlackRock Solana meme.
Yeah. How did you do?
And I degened hard into it with 5 Solana, and it went up. And as the beginning of the show started, I'm like, it got to about 8 Solana, and I was like, oh, I need to sell it. And I just remembered it. I was like, oh God. Now it's back down to 5 Solana. I was like, ah.
What is it? So we'll pull that up here in a second too. But what was the one that I think Jesus was talking about?
Capybara?
Capybara, yeah.
Capybara. Yeah, Jesus, you're right. I got busy with like talking to you guys and lost out on $300. Well, maybe about $500.
Come on.
As they say, there's no way that was the top. I'm sure. Sure, it'll go back up.
There we go. Boom.
Very strange chart though.
Big video. I think I have too many of these things popping. I have like a ton of other stuff open too as well. Boom. Where are you at? Alrighty. Here we go. Come on.
Yeah, Pitmonk, I spent yesterday a couple of hours just looking on Gecko Terminal, all the new pairs on Solana, and for that matter, many changed, but focused on the ones on Solana. And 90% of them rug pulls. I mean, most of them lasted 3-4 minutes, and they just pulled the liquidity. You know, no Twitters, no nothings, no web pages, no community, no telegrams, nowhere. All they want people to do is get their eyes on that list saying new pair just launched, FOMO into it, and then 4 minutes later they steal your money. And their guys are doing it. I watch people, you know, obviously the first couple of buys are the developers' money. And all they do is get one sucker to FOMO in for, I don't know the cost of launching a contract on Solana, but there's got to be some cost to it. All of a sudden, like 2 or 3 buys that come in, total of about, you know, probably $200-300, then they rug it. And I was like, why do they go through all that effort to do it? Well, they probably got a bot that writes the contracts and launches them, and they're all copy names of things that are popular. And so they, if you make $400 in 20 minutes and you do that, you have 6 machines doing it, you can be making a couple of grand an hour.
Well, the other part behind it as well is I always bring this up. This is always crazy when I think about it. You know, if they're in another country, right, where the U.S. dollar is, I mean, in all reality, you know, 100x, 50x of what your current situation and how you live, you know, like you're living a king's life.
Yeah, I'm helping out this kid in the not nicer areas of Nigeria trade. Not help him trade, but just try to get his feet under it. Because I first ran into him in the last bull run, and all he wants to do is turn $20 into $100. That's all he wants to do. He doesn't want to. He's like, he couldn't possibly imagine 50 grand in Solana or something like that. He's just like, I just want $20 to go to $100. And that's awesome, and it holds him over for a long time. Yeah,
like real. Like it's people don't realize the amount of money that crypto is creating for the rest of the world is huge. Like it is absolutely huge, especially third world countries, second world countries.
Kansas Zeno, welcome to the house. Sorry for ignoring you for so long. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Well, I can't pull up that Calabra. Where is
that job? That move on. Jesus has probably got 50 of these things in his pocket.
Yeah, probably.
Look at
and then
which pull up BlackRock on Solana. It'll say like Larry Funky.
Larry Pink?
Or Lurie Pink, yeah, it's that first one.
Larry Pink, all right, cool. Solana. Here we are.
He's like 80 of them. You have no idea how you could possibly account for all those things, and you're like, ah.
So when'd you get on these guys? Are there?
Yeah, just about this morning.
Right down in here.
Start back up. Can't really see
That's 12 cents. What?
I got it in. in about 50 cents in there. Or not 50, but 5.
5 cent.
Yeah, whatever. How many zeros? 5? I don't know what it is. Right around there, but it's probably 7. I can't tell because my wallet. I used stupid MetaMask for it, or not MetaMask. A Phantom, and I can't tell where I got in.
So this is BlackRock. BlackRock. Right.
He says
Solana.
one more, Dad.
All right. So I'm looking at this right now. It's already starting to pop right here. It's consolidating. It's got to get above here. Like, let me pull up the 12-hour here real quick. Oh yeah, it's playing off of that 8 period. You could see it on the 12-hour here.
As that show says, list it or love it. Do we sell it or do we love it?
It honestly, give me a second. Where is this? 9 o'clock. The next one is when? 17.
Jesus, it's a couple of. It's at least 2 weeks old or something. Hold on a second.
Yeah, we're already starting to see some buyers step in, man. So I would say maybe sell it once it can get up to 20. 20 is really where we're seeing sellers step in once it gets back up there. So 1920 is where I would look to sell it. You got up all the way to here. So I see what you're saying. That 22 cent area for yourself. So yeah, I would say once it gets back up here, because it should. I'm just trying to see 5-minute. We saw volume step in. We saw it with a decent amount. I wish I could see the daily.
Sorry about that. Striking Junior's at the train station downtown, and his Uber is not working, so I have to send him an Uber to take him home.
Oh, nice. 11.
And I missed everything you were saying about that because he called me right then.
All right. So if this starts to go green, right, which is sitting right here, and this is consolidating, we can see here as it was consolidating, it's waiting for that 12-hour 8. You can see now.
Oh.
All right. Well, we'll use 8-hour. You can see how it's been playing off the 8-hour 8 here. So the next 8-hour shift here is going to be 1700. It potentially, once it comes to taps that, we should see this put in a new high. So you've got maybe 1700. So that's West Coast time of 16. That's 5 o'clock. West Coast time 6, 7, 8 o'clock tonight. So I would look 8 o'clock tonight to see it push. And this is hard because it's playing off. You can see we're definitely respecting that 8, right?
Yeah.
And so it's waiting. We just had a 9 o'clock turnover, and so it's another 6 hours got to pass by, and by that it'll be up to here. But this right here is just going to. We can see here it's consolidated until the price got to it. Right, until the 8 period moving average. So you've got potential 16 hours, 14 hours before it comes back, and then we see it. But it is looking pretty strong because, I mean, if you look at the last 8 hours, man, we saw a pretty good push into the night session, right? Again, at the night session, it popped. So these people down here sold off, and then, but it held, boom. So overall, it's still looking bullish. If I were you, I mean, I would hold it and then wait for the push up. But it all depends what you're looking to do, right? Like if
Jesus, I don't know what the starting market cap was, and I don't really know how to determine it.
Well, I would sit there and say, how much is it right now? So what's the market cap right now? Is market cap 18 mil. So we're at 18. So at 9, so 18 mil, every cent is a mil, right? So at 10 cents, it was 10 mil. So 10 mil.
Yeah,
so
obviously it started at
500,000.
0.001, right?
Let's see here real quick. Open, yeah, 000. So it started at 0. So it was a fair launch. It looks like, dude, whoever got in right here, bro.
Yo,
These days.
no kidding. He's making some fat banks.
Yeah, and dude, you've got enough LP there to sell off some really good.
Yeah, I know it's pretty good.
Yeah, you've gotten decent. All right, man. Shoot, that's looking nice though. I mean, it potentially could keep going higher. I'm looking at it. Yeah, because we're talking, that is, like you can see at 1 o'clock, that's the Asian Open, right? And the Asian Open don't really follow Christmas or Easter, so.
That's true. Oh,
so very much good to see this.
I got sitting too long. I got to stretch here.
You right there, Grandpa. You okay? You need
yeah, that's what exactly what happened.
That was that.
When I do that on the phone with my daughter, she texts me the old guy emoji.
Oh, dude, that's funny. I'm gonna start calling you English. Old English. Anyways, that's just from the what show is that? It's such a good show. This guy's in. Anyways, let's jump back here. So, we're talking about. If you guys have anything else for us, I can always do TA while we do our rant free tomorrow, or full rant Friday tomorrow as well for you guys.
Yeah, so tomorrow we'll be on Twitter Spaces. I'll have Pedro's screen up on YouTube too, but we'll be talking on
just ranting
on Twitter Spaces
about everything. Conspiracy theory,
right?
Whatever.
Open mic. You know, crypto centric, but you know, we'll allow the Tom's tangents or striking soliloquies to a wide berth.
Pedro's rants. Or we got to call it Pedro's.
It's got to be alliteration. It's got to be PP.
Yeah, PP. Yeah. Or Garcia's gripes. We can go Garcia's gripes.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Ooh, look at that. Anyways, all right, guys. What time is that going to be starting? Same time, same place, same time channel?
Good,
all right, awesome. Look forward to it. It shall be fun. Come with your gripes. Come with your upsets. Tech P. I like that, man. That's actually dope. I saw you do that earlier, bro. When I saw you do that, go Tech P, I was like, I actually like that. Call me TP. Anyways. All right, Mike, thank you. Again, shout out to everybody who's watching us today. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Please hit that like button, the share button. Send this out to your friends, family, loved ones if you want some entertainment and just a good time.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We had a great show today. We talked about AI. We're going to focus on it more next week and that type of stuff. Talked about a couple of meme coins, that type of stuff. All these good things to talk about every week. We had a bunch of good viewers again. A little bit light on the viewers compared to normal, but like 10 more times than normal from a year ago. So we're all happy about that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. As I always like to finish these things off by saying, on behalf of Pedro, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking here in the digital media world. So glad to have hosted another episode of... Peace out, Chads, Matt says. Thank you very much. Another episode of DYOR Live here. We're moving, we're grooving, we're heading to the top. We're going to have thousands of viewers here soon, and enjoy the interaction while we can do it. If not, you're just going to be Chads like Rhodes. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Have a great day. Pedro and I are out.